At the first level of racing, nobody pays you to drive. It's usually the opposite. You pay for the kart. You pay for the tires. You pay for the mechanics. You pay just for the chance to prove that you're fast. At the final level, the equation flips. The cars are worth millions. The audience is global. And the best drivers in the world can build careers worth tens of millions of dollars. But between those two seats is one of the most expensive and competitive career ladders in professional sports. Thousands of young drivers can start in karting. Only a fraction reach Formula 4. Fewer reach Formula 3. Fewer still make Formula 2. And only a tiny number ever get an F1 seat. And talent alone isn't enough. You need results, funding, sponsors, timing, the right team, and eventually enough points to qualify for an FIA super license. Level 1. The karting driver. Level 1 is the karting driver. And if you're imagining the little rental karts people drive at birthday parties, forget them. Competitive karting is real motorsport. You're learning braking points, racing lines, overtaking, defending, tire grip, and how to make decisions while everyone around you wants the exact same piece of asphalt. And many future Formula drivers start young, very young. While other kids are learning multiplication tables, these drivers can already be learning how to pass someone under braking. The problem is that speed costs money, tires wear out, engines need maintenance, travel adds up, entry fees keep coming. And the faster you become, the more serious the spending gets. At serious levels, a karting season can consume tens of thousands of dollars, and top international campaigns can go far beyond that. You're not building wealth yet, you're buying opportunity. And winning doesn't automatically fix that. A trophy proves you're fast. It doesn't necessarily pay for next weekend's tires. What winning can buy you is attention. Win enough races, and suddenly bigger teams, sponsors, and driver academies have a reason to learn your name. Because karting isn't the destination. For the drivers chasing Formula 1, it's the audition for something much more expensive. And the moment you leave karting and climb into your first single-seater, you've reached Level 2, Formula 4. Level 2, the Formula 4 driver. Level 2 is Formula 4. This is where karting ends and the traditional single-seater ladder begins. For the first time, you're sitting in something that actually starts to resemble a Formula racing car. There's a real cockpit, wings, slick tires, data, engineers, a proper racing team, and enough speed to make everything you learned in karting suddenly feel very small. But the biggest difference isn't the speed, it's the bill. In karting, you could already spend serious money. In Formula 4, the financial scale jumps dramatically. You're no longer paying for a kart and a few sets of tires. You're paying a professional team to operate a race car across an entire championship. That means engineers, mechanics, tires, testing, transportation, crash damage, entry fees, travel, data analysis, and all the other things required to put one driver on a starting grid. Depending on the championship and team, a competitive Formula 4 season can require a budget well into 6 figures. And once again, that money usually isn't your salary. You're paying for the seat. This creates one of the harshest realities in junior motorsport. You can be faster than another driver and still watch them continue up the ladder while your career stops because their funding is stronger. So the job becomes more complicated. You don't just have to drive. You have to convince teams, sponsors, academies, and sometimes your own family that another season is worth paying for. And when the lights go out, none of that matters anymore. 20 young drivers can arrive believing they're the next Formula 1 star. Only one of them can win the race. Good results can open doors. Championships can open bigger ones. And if you're fast enough, consistent enough, and funded enough, the next car waiting for you is significantly more serious. Level 3. The Formula 3 driver. Level 3 is Formula 3, and this is where the ladder starts feeling international. The cars are faster, the competition is stronger, the engineering becomes more sophisticated, and the people watching from the paddock become much more important. At this level, you're racing against drivers who were champions somewhere else. Almost everyone was the fast kid back home. Being talented is no longer unusual. Now you have to find tenths of a second in braking zones, tire management, qualifying laps, race starts, and data that engineers can analyze corner by corner. One bad qualifying session can bury you in the pack. One collision can destroy a weekend. And one great result can suddenly put your name in front of people who can change your career. This is also where driver academies become incredibly valuable. A major racing organization doesn't just bring money, it can bring coaching, connections, training, and a pathway toward the top. But support comes with pressure. If somebody is investing in your career, they expect results, and the financial stakes keep climbing. A serious Formula 3 campaign can require a budget measured in the high hundreds of thousands, and, depending on the program, potentially more. You still might not be making meaningful money as a driver. You're competing in an increasingly professional sport while somebody is still financing your opportunity to compete. But now something else matters too: points. Results in eligible championships can contribute toward the FIA superlicense requirements you'll eventually need to race in Formula 1. Finish high enough, prove yourself against this field, and there is only one major step left before Formula 1. Level 4. The Formula 2 driver. Level 4 is Formula 2, the final major proving ground before Formula 1. At this point, nobody needs to ask whether you're fast. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. The question is whether you're fast enough to beat some of the best young drivers on Earth. The cars are brutally quick, the racing is aggressive, tire management matters, strategy matters, consistency matters, and mistakes become incredibly expensive. But the most important thing about Formula 2 may be who is watching. Formula 1 teams are looking for their next driver. Every qualifying lap, every overtake, every mistake, and every podium can become part of your audition. And getting here still doesn't mean the financial problem has disappeared. A Formula 2 campaign can require an enormous budget, often reaching into the millions depending on the team and arrangement. Think about that. You can reach one of the highest levels of open-wheel racing in the world and still need major financial backing just to compete. But now the prize is finally visible. If you have the results, the super license eligibility, the backing, and, perhaps most importantly, a Formula 1 team willing to give you one of its extremely limited race seats, everything changes. Level 5. The F1 Rookie. Level 5 is the Formula 1 Rookie. After years of spending money to race, you have finally reached a level where somebody may pay you serious money to do it. But getting the seat doesn't mean you've made it forever. It means you've been given an opportunity to prove that you belong. Your teammate may have years of experience. The engineers expect precise feedback. The media analyzes every mistake, and millions of people can watch you make one in real time. The car is unlike anything you've driven before. The braking forces are enormous. The aerodynamic grip is extreme. The steering wheel looks like a computer. And everything happens incredibly fast. Even your physical preparation changes. Your neck has to survive huge cornering forces. Your body has to handle heat, vibration, braking, and nearly 2 hours of concentration at racing speed. And then there's your teammate. In Formula 1, the first person you have to beat is often sitting in almost the same machinery on the other side of the garage. Beat expectations, score points, and prove that you can develop with the team, and your value starts climbing. Fail to deliver, and the ladder that took more than a decade to climb can end after only a season or two, because there are always more young drivers waiting below you. Level 6. The F1 Star. Level 6 is the Formula 1 Star. You're no longer trying to prove that you deserve an F1 seat. Now teams can compete to put you in theirs. You've scored podiums. Maybe you've won races. You've shown that when the car is capable of fighting at the front, you can actually put it there. And now the economics finally reverse completely. Instead of finding millions to fund your racing career, your driving ability can become worth millions to a team. Salary is only part of it. Successful drivers can also build commercial value through sponsorships, endorsements, bonuses, licensing, and a global personal brand. But the pressure scales with the money. When a team spends enormous resources trying to win, second place isn't always considered success. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every contract becomes speculation. Every teammate becomes a comparison. And every season is judged by one question: did you deliver what the car was capable of? For most racing drivers, reaching Formula One would already be the final dream. For an F1 star, there is still one level left. Level 7, the F1 World Champion. Level 7 is the Formula One World Champion. You don't reach this level by being fast for one weekend. You have to perform across an entire season. Different circuits, different weather, mechanical problems, strategy calls, pressure, rivals, bad weekends, great weekends, and points that keep accumulating until the final race. At this level, a single mistake can matter months later. One lost position in the spring can become the difference between first and second in the championship at the end of the year. And if everything comes together, the driver, the team, the car, the strategy, the reliability, and the consistency, you can become one of the very few people on Earth who can call themselves a Formula One World Champion. The financial world is completely different now too. At the very top of Formula One, elite drivers can command contracts and commercial opportunities worth tens of millions of dollars, which makes the journey almost absurd when you look back at where it started. A small cart, a set of tires, a family trying to find enough money for another race weekend. No salary, no guarantee, no Formula One contract waiting at the end. Just a kid trying to be faster than everyone else. 7 levels: karting, Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1 Rookie, Formula 1 Star, and finally, World Champion. At the beginning, you pay for the opportunity to race. At the end, teams can pay millions for the opportunity to have you race for them. But money isn't what connects those two drivers. Thousands of braking zones, thousands of laps, years of competition, and surviving every level in between does. Because in racing, getting faster is only part of the climb. You also have to keep earning the right to reach the next starting grid. And that's every level of becoming a Formula One driver.